Hello friends, welcome to Management Study Biz channel. In today's module, we will discuss about human behavior approach. This is the chart of management approaches friends. We have already finished the first set, that is the classical approaches. If you want, these videos are already posted in the channel. Please go through them. And now we are in the second section, that is neoclassical approaches. And under that we have completed already human relations. You can watch this video in the channel. Now we are completing human behavior approach given by Gregor. So introduction. Before I explain this, I just wanted to tell you about Douglas McGregor. Douglas McGregor has given the theory of X and Y models at MIT Sloan School of Management, a private research university in Cambridge. It initially presented at a management conference in 1957 and developed during 1960. So, in 1960, Douglas McGregor formulated human behavior models, that is theory X and theory Y, suggesting these two aspects, or in other words we can say as two different views of individuals, that is the employees, one of which will be called as theory X and the other is positive, so it is called as theory Y. These two theories describe contrasting models of workforce motivation applied by managers in HRM, that is organization behavior, organizational communication, and organizational development. Organizational behavior is nothing but it is a study of the way the people interact within the groups. Simply, it is studying the behaviors of different people. Next is organizational communication. It is just exchange of information, ideas, views within the organization and outside the organization. And the third one is organizational development. It is a process helping organization to improve through change in policies, leadership styles in the organization. So theory X stresses on the importance of strict supervision, external rewards and penalties. And theory Y, it highlights the motivating role of job satisfaction and encourages workers to approach tasks without direct supervision. According to McGregor, the perception of managers on the nature of individuals is based on various assumptions. Now, assumptions of theory X. An average employee intrinsically does not like work and tries to escape it whenever it is possible. Since the employee does not want to work, he must be persuaded, compelled, or warned with the punishment so as to achieve organizational goals. A close supervision is required on part of managers, and the managers adopt a more dictatorial style of leadership. Many employees rank job security on top and they have little or no aspiration, that is called ambition. Employees generally dislike responsibilities, employees resist change, and average employee needs formal direction. So friends, in general terms, we can summarize these assumptions of theory X as follows, like I'll explain. It's nothing but the average human beings under this theory X, they dislike the work and they'll try to avoid the work. So, he must be controlled to achieve the objectives. That is the reason he prefers the direction. If anyone directs, then that person can do the work. He has only little ambition. He wishes to avoid responsibilities and above all wanted security. It is usually exercised in professions where prominent is infrequent and unlikely, even impossible, and where workers perform repetitive tasks. So friends, for this theory X, there are two approaches. One is hard approach and the next one is soft approach. Hard approach is nothing but it depends on the close supervision and intimidation. It's nothing but intimidation means nothing but scaring and frightening the employees of this theory. That means the human beings who belong to this theory X. And imminent punishments. Imminent punishments means nothing but giving severe punishments so that they can do their work properly. It's very common, like when the children in the school they doesn't do the work, what will happen? Teachers will be punishing them so that they get afraid, they get scared of the punishments. So at least they'll try to complete the work. Here also that type of giving punishments and being rude to them will be working out. And the other one is soft approach. It is categorized by leniency and less strictly regulated rules, hoping for high workplace morale. So this is called as soft approach. They can have some lenience and also strictness will be also little less so that they can improve their performance. Theory X can also benefit a workplace that is more suited towards an assembly line or manual labor type of occupation. So this is all about your assumptions of theory X, friends. Now let us discuss assumptions of theory Y. Employees can perceive their job as relaxing and normal. They exercise their physical and mental efforts in an inherent manner in their jobs. Employees may not require only threat, external control and coercion to work, but they can use self-direction and self-control if they are dedicated and sincere to achieve the organizational objectives. If the job is rewarding and satisfying, then it will result in employees' loyalty and commitment to the organization. An average employee can learn to admit and recognize the responsibility. In fact, he can learn to obtain responsibility. The employees have skills and capabilities. Their logical capabilities should be fully utilized. In other words, the creativity, resourcefulness, and innovative potentiality of the employees can be utilized to solve organizational problems. Now, friends, in general terms, we can summarize this theory Y as follows. I'll explain you that. Here in this theory, the average human beings prefer self-direction. That means they are self-motivated, so they can direct themselves. And they can believe that work is as natural as play. And they will accept and seek the responsibility. They prefer creativity in their workplaces. And the employees are considered to be one of the most valuable assets of the company. It states that particular employees thrive on challenges and improving their personal performance. They do not require constant supervision in order to create a quality and higher standard product. It follows democratic type of leadership because workers will be working in their own style. Professional setting and research based work that professors perform is best managed using this theory Y. So these are the assumptions of theory Y, friends. Now, conclusion. Thus, we can say that theory X presents a pessimistic view of employees' nature and behavior at work, while theory Y presents an optimistic view of the employee's nature and behavior at work. If correlated it with Maslow's theory, we can say that theory X is based on the assumption that the employees emphasize on the physiological needs and the safety needs, while theory Y is based on the assumption that the social needs, esteem needs, and the self-actualization needs dominate the employees. So friends, here theory X is typed as double. So first one is theory X as it is, and then the third line it is theory Y. McGregor views theory Y to be more valid and reasonable than the theory X. Thus, he encouraged cordial team relations, responsible and stimulating jobs, and participation of all in decision-making process. And I just wanted to give you some implications of theory X and Y. Quite a few organizations use theory X today because it encourages use of tight control and supervision. It implies that employees are reluctant to organizational changes, and thus it does not encourage innovation. And many organizations are also using theory Y techniques because it implies that the manager should create and encourage a work environment which provides the opportunity to employees to take initiative and self-direction. That is more important, friends. Employees should be given opportunities to contribute to the organizational well-being. And this encourages decentralization of the authority, teamwork, and participative decision making in an organization. It searches and discovers the ways in which an employee can make significant contributions in an organization. It harmonizes and matches employees' needs and aspirations with organizational needs and aspirations. So that's all, friends, for today. I hope you all liked the video because many of you have asked for the explanation. I started giving you more explanation along with the content. So please do subscribe my channel for more and more videos, and also you can comment in the comment section whichever topics you need the explanations. Like, subscribe and comment my channel. Thank you, friends.